All right. Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 122. This is great. I'm with a good friend, Stephen. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? How are you?
Stephen Espinal, account executive for Universal Connectivity. Man,
That's right.
What is that? Talk to me like I'm a third grader. What is telecommunications?
It's a great question. It's a loaded one. It has to do with everything with your network and phones. I like to tell people tele means distance and communications obviously means to communicate. So it's taking information back and forth between different interfaces or softwares.
So email, computer,
It integrates with your
texting.
365 email, your phones, internet, and a new product we just launched was the emergency notification system for schools.
Okay. Security cameras or no?
Security cameras, yep.
Again, I teach third grade, but we're here with Stephen. All right. I'm Eric Feeney, founder and president of Friends of Feeney. Our mission is to help children and families that need assistance after heartbreak or tragedy. And I use this podcast, Feeney Talks with Friends, and I talk to wonderful people in the community that are doing great things. And Stephen, I'm really excited to talk to you. I've known you quite some time.
That's right.
We go way back.
That's right. Grew up
how-
on the same street.
Yep.
Not
same
grow
street.
up, but
You grew up on that street.
Yes,
I just
yep.
moved in when you were about 10,
yeah,
How old are you now?
roughly 27.
27. So I think you were 12 then.
Yeah.
No, 16 years ago. Do the math.
11.
You were 11. So I've
11.
known you for 16
Yeah.
years. Soccer player.
It's been a while, yeah.
How's the soccer game going?
Soccer games inexistent right now, currently. I took my skill set and brought it over to coaching. So I'm currently coaching for West Hartford Travel. So
Very
been
cool.
doing that for close to a decade now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, you're a good guy. I'm very excited. Again, like I said, this is episode 122. Go back and check out 121 with Joey Batts. He does hip hop for the homeless.
Nice.
I was going to have you spit some bars. You want to rap a little bit?
I cannot rap.
How about Tracy Carter? Go back and check out Tracy Carter. He's the executive director of Anchor Camps. He played basketball at University of Hartford. How's your hoop game?
It's getting there.
What's better, your rap game or your hoop game?
Probably my hoop game, for sure.
Do you play pickup hoop?
I used to a little bit here and there, but it was a few times during the summer with a couple friends, but nothing too rigorous.
Do you play pickup soccer?
I used to with my family, but
Nice.
like I said, not really too much anymore. It's mainly
Who's a better
coaching.
soccer player, you or your dad?
Oh, me for sure. That's not a
All right.
question.
You heard it here. Ed, is that a challenge? It's on. So back to, we have sponsors. We're here at Maximum Beverage. Come out and check out this wonderful selection of beverages. Thank you for hosting us. And thank you, Direct Line Media, Stefania and Dave. This would not be possible without Stefania and Dave and some other podcast sponsors. The Fix IV, Luna Pizza, Parkville Management, Golf Law, People's Bank, Float 41, and Keating Agency, and West Hartford Lock. So with West Hartford Lock being said, what are 3 keys that make you a great account executive for Universal Connectivity? What are 3 keys that make you good at your job?
That's a great question as well. There's actually 4 things that we pride ourselves in at Universal Connectivity. So when you go through the interviewing process, you're supposed to hit these 4 key areas for the company. One is human touch. So how involved are you with the customer and engaged in the community? 2 is pragmatic creativity. So how creative can we be with our solution to cater towards our customers' needs? 3 is thoroughness. So how thorough are we with our documentation processes and making sure that our clients are taken care of? And 4 is being happy. Are we going to present ourselves properly and, act like we do what we love? So.
All right, very nice. I think that translates to a lot of jobs. As a teacher, building that rapport and relationships is very important with your students and your coworkers. Happiness. I always come in with a positive attitude. No one wants to learn from or work with someone that's miserable.
Right.
Thoroughness. You want to do your job to the best of your ability. And what was it? Pragmatic?
Pragmatic creativity.
Pragmatic creativity. Yes, I try to bring engaging and fun lessons and make sure my students are having a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. That was I asked for 3. Stephen, you're a go-getter. You gave us 4.
There you go.
Man, how long you been at the job?
I'm going on 6 months now.
Nice.
Yeah, so still gaining my own accounts, learning about the industry, the ins and outs of everything. but I came from a previous sales role, so I have experience in that respect.
Very nice, very nice. And where are you located?
We're right in West Hartford Center, so right below the Bank of America, which is next to the Chamber of Commerce, West Hartford Chamber of Commerce.
West Hartford Chamber. Are you guys a member?
We are.
Nice. Friends of Feeney's a member. How was your interactions with the chamber?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. There's no better local networking and support that you can get from a business chamber. It's the largest in the state, largest non-single town in the state.
Yeah, 119. Oh yeah, you were there. Chris Conway, Avi Rappaport Smith, Jorge Castro were our guests for a hot wing challenge.
Yep.
You stopped in. You had the bomb. How was that experience?
Oh, that was pleasurably miserable. Yeah. It's good to get on the podcast under those circumstances. It didn't really sit well on my stomach, but that's all good.
How was it the next day? Did you feel it twice?
It was
burn
dandy.
In, burn out, burn. Oh, it was awful. The bomb. The bomb is no joke. I would go back and watch 119. Chris Conway, great guest.
Great episode too.
Conway, also the executive director of the chamber, and he mentioned during the podcast that you are parking lot buddies. So that's
we are. I see him all the time.
Chris Conway, good guy. So telecommunications, not like I think of teleporting, telecommunications. Because you broke it down, tele and communications. Well done. Like if I was a third grader, I think you did a great job explaining that. Thank you.
Yeah. So one example I like to give, actually, just a little sidebar. The earliest form of telecommunications was back when tribes would have to communicate from a large distance. So one tribe or one location of troops would put out a smoke signal, and the other group would send like a drumming in response to it so that they know they're coordinated. So that's the very earliest, most primitive tale of telecommunications.
Got a little history lesson here.
Yeah.
I'm a lifelong learner. Say it all the time. Try to learn something new every day. Thank you, Stephen. You just taught me something. Yeah, you want to learn, make that connection. And so they communicate. One didn't do smoke and the other one did smoke. One did sound. One did smoke?
Correct. Yep.
Nice. Do you know what tribe or where, or you just know?
I just know that they used to do that back in the...
Where did you get all your degrees?
So I spent some time at Western New England, and then some time over at Central doing mechanical engineering, which kind of bridged the gap from the aerospace industry over to sales engineering industry, where I was working with robotics parts and sourcing them from different companies, various companies. We're essentially a brokerage. That brought me full-fledged into sales because I enjoyed the sales industry so much. And then, got picked up by Universal Connectivity 8 to 12 months later.
Very cool. Now, what if someone wanted to connect with you and reach out to you? Do you have an email or a phone number you'd like to share for our listeners to connect with you if they want to work with Universal Connectivity?
Yeah, sure. So universalconnectivity.com. My email is Espinal@universalconnectivity.com. Sespinal @universalconnectivity.com.
Oh, you heard it here first.
There you go.
Let's get you some sales. Do you get commission?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So
should I say that?
I don't know. Maybe you should. I don't know. When I had a financial advisor on, I can't ask about the stock market.
Yeah.
You can't talk stocks.
Right.
But I'm guessing it's your job. You work. So how are your accounts? Oh, let's play a game.
Sure.
Your day at work, your accounts or your activities or your events, it's first, last, best, worst. Your first day at work, your most recent last day at work,
Ooh.
your best day at work, and your worst day at work.
Okay. How did they go?
You can any order you want.
Okay. I guess I'll start with first, and then I'll go last, and then I'll do best, and then
Worst.
Okay.
Or least favorite.
Wow, that's a loaded question because there's not too many bad days at work. My first day at work started very, slow as you do in any job, I guess. Doing a lot of trainings, a lot of, grassroots stuff where you're just learning about the products, the industry that you're in, the company, values, learning everybody's face at work. My most recent day was today. It was a busy day. I had a couple meetings, doing a lot of emails back and forth over the phone or through email. We're actually working on a solution for a specific client currently. So we're kind of working in the weeds with that. That's something that, that's our pragmatic creativity approach.
Nice.
The best day at work and the worst day at work? Best day at work was closing a deal, I guess. Worst day at work?
You want to elaborate a little more on the deal?
Well, it's still in process, so I can't really go into specifics. But it was a good deal.
Very nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was your first deal?
Well, it was more my largest, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. My worst day at work? So that's the thing. I don't really have too many bad days at work, but
Good answer.
Yeah.
Ask me. A lot of my days are terrible. No, just kidding. No, that was a game. So that's a fun game you can do at any time. First, last, best, worst. Vacations, friends, teachers, whatever you want. Activities, soccer events. So Central, do you know Tom Pincince?
Yes, I do.
He went to Central.
He
didn't go to Central. He currently is the athletic director at Central.
And you had him on your podcast.
Yeah.
Of course I know him. And we
What
both
number?
know why.
What number
He's in the
podcast?
neighborhood. I don't know. I saw it weeks ago.
He's number
probably around the
94.
90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 94, Tom Pincince. I always jack up his name. I jacked it up on the podcast too.
And he was number 94, and he made a reference to a basketball player during that episode.
Yep.
Right?
94.
You do so many of these. Maybe it's...
And then Eric Bergen was the Central guy. DJ Joey O was a Central
really?
guy. Have you ever been to Elmer's?
Of course.
Okay.
Way back in the day.
We could play our first, last, best, worst. Elmer's. Ready? Go. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah.
But DJ Joey O was a DJ at Elmer's. He went to Central. So, Bergen had 100 views. Tom had 200 views. Joey O had 200 views. How are we looking for views? What are you promising me here?
I think we're going to get to 1,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then how was that engineering degree at Central? Hard, challenging? What made you choose that path?
Yeah, I mean, from a very early age, I loved problem solving. I loved mathematics. I loved science. So going into a field related to that was difficult to gauge as to which one I wanted to actually pursue, whether it was computer science, engineering, mathematics, physics, whatever it may have been. So I kind of stumbled upon mechanical just because it was a blend of all of them together. You got some, courses with coding, got some courses with math, physics, everything in between. And then, obviously the higher up you go, the more complex it becomes. But yeah, I mean, it's a challenging degree nonetheless. But you come out of it and as a more resilient learner, I guess, if that's a good way of putting it.
No joke. Do you use some of the things that you learned at Central in your engineering class currently in your role as the account executive?
In my current role, no, but in adjacent roles to me, yes, absolutely. Obviously, the engineers over at the business do work very hands-on with low voltage equipment. So having that physics background or electricity or electrical background definitely helps with the knowledge piece.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, me being a teacher, 21 years, we're talking education. Do you have a favorite teacher that stands out or a favorite moment with a teacher?
I knew this question would come up.
Did you do your homework?
I did 90% of the time. The other 10% may have been at lunch the period before. But it still got done, nonetheless. And I have a couple favorite teachers, specifically at Conard. Conard has a great staff, by the way. I don't know how hands-on you are with Conard staff. If you have district get-togethers or whatnot,
I know a few of them.
They're phenomenal. Specifically, if I want to give some shout-outs to some of my old Conard teachers,
Yeah, definitely.
Miss Zangu, who is now Miss Bryan, who recently got married. Not recently, actually. Now it's probably been close to a decade as well. Miss Bryan, Miss Peretti, and Mr. Noel. Those are my top three. So 2 English teachers and Mr. Noel is a math teacher.
Nice.
So
I don't know if I've ever heard those names.
they're any feedback you get on them, they're strict but fair, and they're fun when they need to be. It's like the perfect, most ideal high school teacher you could really ask for.
Yep, fair and stern, but can also crack some jokes on occasion.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Outside of class time, of course.
Mr. Noel, what's he look like? Glasses? Mustache?
Maybe for reading, but no glasses really. Bald guy. He's been there for years. I'd say over 20 years.
Yes, I think I know him.
Yeah.
I think I just saw him at the football game. He's out a lot at the activities.
Yeah.
All right. Brian Noel. Yes, good guy. Brian Noel. I'm going to look him up real quick, though. Yes, I know exactly who that is.
I know everybody loved him.
Kind of gray hair. Short.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, short. Yeah.
Good guy.
Really good guy. All my friends, when we were in high school, senior year, I think, when we were taking calculus, we all loved him. Nobody hated him. So, really, really good guy. We had group collaboration sessions with like little 5 of us. We got into our pods.
Can you send this to him? We'll send it to. What minute are we, Stefania? 16. 16th minute. Brian Noel, shout out. Conard. Let's see if this is him.
I believe his first name was Brian.
No? No.
No.
That's no one. That's what threw me off.
That's Tor Fisk.
Yeah. Conard Math.
Yeah.
This guy's incognito. But I think it's the person who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
No, for a fact, actually. I'm very confident.
I do know he goes to a lot of basketball games or whatever.
Yep. We had a couple other Conard grads. Gavin Sherry and Callum Sherry. They were twins. They were Gatorade Runners of the Year.
Really?
And they got a free ride, and they're running at Stanford now. So, great podcast. That
Good
was
for them.
number
That's awesome.
45. That had like 500 views.
Wow.
Riley Fox played hoop, just graduated. That's episode 93. He's at Yale now.
Okay.
And he's like 600 views. So
Wow.
Conard guys coming through.
Yeah.
So between your CCSU poll and your Conard poll, we're looking at like 2,000 views.
Okay. I'm here for it. I can't wait.
It's going to be great. Great. No, thank you for shouting out teachers. It's really cool to hear you're appreciative. Your teachers, former students appreciate you. So, I've shared multiple times when someone mentioned their favorite teacher. Is that person still alive? Can we share it with them? So it's good to hear. So Brian Noel will be happy to hear that. And who were the other two? Mrs. Bryant?
Mrs. Bryan, Bryan. I don't know how, because I never had her when she was Miss Bryan, but I know her maiden name is Zengou. Zengou, and Peretti, Peritti.
What's Peretti teach?
English. Yeah.
Very cool. No, Conard's a great school. My daughters go there.
How are they doing, by the way?
Yeah, juniors.
Juniors, wow.
Student council, busy. They just did Black Box Theater. One is in mock trial.
Okay.
With Mr. Islab and Miss Esposito.
Okay. 2
wonderful teachers doing a great thing. Mock trial next week. They're going to present and go throughout their trial. It's a competition. You go against another school, like an athletic event. It's really cool. Something I've never knew too much about. But last year they did it through New Britain Superior Courts. Next week they're going to be at Hartford Superior Courts.
Nice.
So wonderful problem solving, public speaking, thinking on the spot, calling out someone for, convention. It was like objection, convention of language, or convention of time.
Okay.
I pick them up on Sundays and Tuesdays, and they just come in like, it's like a head-to-head competition of words and just trying to catch someone out. So interesting. I grew up, didn't have that opportunity or didn't know about mock trials. So to see my daughters do it, it's very exciting. I'm very proud of them. They're doing a great job. Student council is another thing. They plan the pep rallies, the homecomings, pep rallies, Model UN. So they go to UConn every year, and they represent their country like the United Nations. Neela, humble brag, won best delegate. So she came home with a gavel, and it had engraved on it best delegate. So it was a really cool certificate. Very proud of her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a great school. I'm very excited. Bridget does softball. She's catching. So she's going. She just went hitting the other day to get ready for the season. Neela's getting ready for golf. Just a wonderful program. Great, like you said, the staff is wonderful.
Yeah.
So from the administration down to all the teachers, counselors.
Yeah, you
so
can't
happy.
miss with West Hartford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we moved here. So yeah, 16 years ago, my girls are 16. So you figure out why we moved here. My wife was pregnant. We lived in New Haven. I was working in Waterbury. My wife was working in Milford. Found out we were pregnant. We had to go to a good education school system. My family, my mother lived in Waterbury. Her mother and dad lived in East Granby. So West Hartford was right in the middle. We settled. We saw Wolcott Park. We saw that we can go, towards the mall and towards Doro, and Doro wasn't there, but like
Blockbuster at the time, maybe.
Blockbuster.
Yep.
It was a Blockbuster.
And the mail slot to
Still
return
there.
DVDs is still there.
Yep. I saw Blockbuster. I remember being at Blockbuster, and I remember laser hair removal was like a Chinese restaurant. And
next to the American Eagle.
Yes.
Yeah.
American Eagle, and was one big Chinese restaurant, but then they knocked it down and made it a bank and a hair removal. And then Bombay Olive. What was Bombay Olive?
Well, it was an IHOP.
Very good.
Like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way before I moved here. But I remember driving to the mall once, getting lost, taking a wrong turn, and seeing that IHOP.
Yep.
Because the bamboo still looks like the IHOP shape. It's funny.
Yep. And then the place, the Hartford Healthcare building across the street, right in the corner next to the Cat.
Cats Unlimited.
Cats Unlimited. That used to be a restaurant too. It used to be a pretty famous local one. Yeah.
Do you know the name?
I forget the name. I can ask.
Were you born in that house?
Yes, I was.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Very cool. No, great neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you went to Wolcott?
Went to Wolcott.
Did you go to Sedgwick?
Went to Sedgwick.
Conard.
Yep. Very good.
Nice. And how about Dr. K? I never got a chance to work for Dr. K, but obviously we know him from the neighborhood.
Oh.
I moved in, and Kathy said, hey, that's the principal at Wolcott School. Maybe you should talk to him. So I go, hey, Dr. K, I've been a teacher for 8 years in Waterbury. I'd be interested to go to Wolcott. And I joked. I was like, hey, I'll paint your house. I'll mow your lawn. He's like, I got someone for that.
That was me.
Yeah, probably. And then like 5 years later, I was still driving to Waterbury. The commute was 35 minutes, traffic. It was awful. And he's like, hey, I got good news, bad news. Good news is I can get you an interview. Bad news is I'm retiring. So I said, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And got the job. Dr. Singh came in, Jazz Singh came in, and Dr. K moved to Washington State.
Yep.
So hopefully if you get this, well, maybe you'll send this to him. And
I
Dr.
probably
Singh.
will.
Plato, you're the man.
I'm still in contact with him through Facebook and Instagram, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for everything, Plato. And then my daughter babysit his cats, and he's a great guy. He wrote in like Greek letters. Have you ever seen his handwriting?
Yeah.
So weird.
That whole family is brilliant. Very artistic, articulate, just smart individuals.
Are you around the same age as the twins?
They're 2 years above me.
Above you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Chloe and Lexi.
Very cool.
Yep. So we grew up next door to each other, played outside together. And then when they moved, it was a little sad because they were my neighbors,
Yeah. And then you got, Tom's in there now.
Tom's in there now. Yep. Who you had 94, podcast 94.
Podcast 94. Or 98. He's 98.
98. Okay.
Or maybe do we mention Jesse Armstead maybe then? 98? Or basketball? Basketball players usually aren't big numbers like 98. Maybe he was a football player.
I forget who it was. But
so how's the coaching? Soccer. So almost 8 to 10 years coaching at the West Hartford. Boys or girls? Or both?
It's been flip-flopping year to year. Currently, I have the boys.
Nice.
So I have the second graders and the fourth graders. So.
Is it travel?
It is travel, yep.
Always coach travel?
Always coach travel.
Nice.
Yep.
And where do you travel to?
Various places. It depends on who wants to play us. So we're entered into a league that's in the greater Hartford district. So you got your Glastonburys, Manchesters, all the way to, your Newingtons, your Simsburys, your Granbys. You could even play someone like Summers, that's 40 minutes away. But once you get to that certain age point where you're traveling all over the state, you could be traveling to Greenwich one day and then, Mystic the next. So it really depends on who you play, what tournament bracket you're in, what league you enter in, and stuff like that.
So you got second graders driving 40 minutes to play?
So that particular example, driving to Summers, was with the fourth graders.
Gotcha.
So still same kind of thing. They're still very young.
Wow. No, that's good. Well, I mean, it's called travel for a reason.
You do travel.
Hence the name. Very cool. No, I've never sponsored a soccer team, but Friends of Feeney, I brought this too. I've been meaning to share, so maybe it's a good opportunity to share. We sponsored, this is our minors, Friends of Feeney. This is our softball team.
Very nice.
Got the corporate colors, green. There's our coach. So really excited to be the West Hartford Girls Softball League. They made a nice little frame. Look at that. It's really nice.
Why don't you coach? You should coach.
I did coach. So
you did.
Listen, for soccer, I was the best. Hands down, bar none, the best kindergarten to first grade soccer coach ever.
Nice.
Once it got to second or third grade, when you had to know positions and where to go and build strategy, I lost it.
What about softball? You know baseball, right?
So I coach my girls in everything.
Okay.
T-ball, softball, soccer. What else did they do? Basketball. Well, then my wife took over the basketball head coaching, made me assistant coach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And said if I continue to yell, "What are you doing? Where's your player?" I'm gonna sit in the car. She's like, yelling, "What are you doing?" is not helpful. Well, no, it was great coaching. But then after a while, it's like you try to be coaching your children are definitely challenging because they see you all day long.
Yep.
Sometimes they may not agree with you, and they'll tell you that. So
I know that too well.
Did your dad coach you?
He tried to give me pointers here and there. We would walk over to Wolcott Park, and it always ended. I was maybe 5 or 6 years old at the time, but it always ended in a crying argument. So those are some of the memories I cherish, though, of course.
Yeah.
So
the funniest thing ever is like I taught third grade at Wolcott School. My daughters were in third grade at Wolcott School.
Yeah.
They brought home the third grade homework that I collaborated with my colleagues and made. And they said, "No, Dad, we don't do it this way in school." And I was like,
yeah.
Are you kidding me? I just sat in a meeting with your teacher. So I couldn't imagine I had inside source. Like I was in the mix.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine a parent, like I hear that a lot. "Oh, Mr. Feeney, we don't teach math. I didn't learn math this way. Mr. Feeney, the new math. Mr. Feeney, Common Core math." So a parent, like I don't want to say a civilian parent or a hands-off parent or someone that's not in the school system parent.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what the students are saying. Like, "No, Dad, we do it this way."
Yeah.
To have my own daughters tell me when they were in third grade, it was hilarious. I was like, fine.
Well, I remember when I dog sat Barkley, your dog, one time. And when you guys this is actually the different time. I was actually setting up a tent in your backyard. Do you remember that? For a gathering that you had one summer.
Okay.
But anyways, I was setting up the tent, and I just see your two daughters just sitting there reading for hours. And that's all they did. So if you can imagine if they read their entire childhood, how smart they would be. So maybe they did know something that you didn't.
Oh, no, they are smarter than me for sure. They've said words like adherent. Just the other day, I should make a list. Acampment. Acampment. Like I don't know. I have just so many words. I'm like, what?
It's a new vocab word?
Like it's a new word.
Do they still have
But they drop them like it's nothing,
Yeah.
It's like, but no, my girls, like you said, I don't want to take credit, but when my wife was pregnant, I read to the belly, my wife's belly, read a book every day. And I just read. And then when they came out, I read to them every day.
Yeah.
Picture books, because I'm really good at reading picture books. But then, again, being great kindergarten, first grade soccer coach, I'm a really good kindergarten, first grade reader. And then when they got into Harry Potter and stuff, I read the first chapter of Harry Potter, and I was just like, what are these names? well, what's going on, you know? So, but Harry Potter they read Harry Potter in like second grade.
Really?
Or maybe even, I want to say second or third grade.
To me, those books are daunting because as a fifth grader, even if you're looking at those, and those are like 300 pages long.
Yeah, 500.
500, some of them, yeah.
And my sister once waited at Barnes & Noble's to get the book. When she got the book, she went home and read it throughout the night.
Oh,
and
boy.
read the whole book.
Wow.
So maybe they get the reading from my sister,
Which one was
too.
that? Was that Deathly Hallows?
I think it might have been the first one or the second one. I don't know. But that's funny that you say my daughters were reading. They still love reading.
I feel like that's all they did.
Yeah. They're really good readers.
That's what happens when their father's a teacher, you know?
No, I think, yeah.
It's still those good habits.
Reading is important. Reading is fun. Reading will take you places.
Absolutely.
So I encourage that. I encourage all my listeners, and that's a good recommendation. Read. You have any recommendations? Books, podcasts, movies, TV shows? Recommend it. We're on the recommendation portion.
I don't have any books that your viewers would like. They're more so like business books and telecommunications books. But yeah, I mean, I'd love the Harry Potter series. I read the first book of Game of Thrones. So as far as novels go, that's what I've read really, but it's typically business-related books.
Yep.
Yeah.
I suggested reading Who Moved My Cheese. Last podcast, I gave a copy to Joey Batts. Who Moved My Cheese? The Inner Game of Tennis, another great book. It's about achieving a goal, and it could be the inner game of anything. Inner game of interviewing, inner game of I wrote my Neela does riflery. And so like
riflery?
Yeah.
Like shooting?
Yeah.
Really?
So like the mental portion of that. It's like very physical, draining, and mentally.
Yeah.
You have to squeeze the trigger at the same time. You have to hold your breath and pause at the same time every time. It's challenging. So.
Speaking of which, did you see that Olympian that did the one-arm pistol?
Oh yeah, the Turkish.
It went viral. Yeah.
That was funny.
Someone
dressed as him as Halloween. Oh, Brian had a party. Your other neighbor.
Oh yeah.
And a couple rolled in as the Australian breakdancer and the Turkish shooter. And they pulled it off. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see. No. So recommendations. So I recommended Yellowstone. You ever watch Yellowstone?
Bits and pieces here or there, but I haven't sat down and actually,
You ever played John Madden football growing up? John Madden, the football game?
Oh, when you
Madden?
said John. Yeah.
Madden. My bad.
When you
Madden.
said John Madden, I was like, okay. I thought that's what you meant. But yeah,
just
Madden.
call it Madden.
A little bit here or
There's
there. I was a FIFA guy, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's a documentary on Madden on Amazon.
Okay.
Oh, I loved it. Like, Madden raised me. Like, I think it was 89, the first one came out for Sega. Had it, and I had them all. I think I stopped playing around, like, 2008 or 2010. Who knows? But it was a great documentary. So, yeah, so funny. Kids don't even realize that he's a person. They just think Madden as, like, a concept or a game. But
like a FIFA or like an NHL or whatever video game. Yep.
I remember the first time I played FIFA, freshman year, Southern Connecticut State, my buddy Jeff Craig's room. I think it was Nintendo 64. Diagonal screen. You could kick it up to yourself, corner kicks.
What's a diagonal screen?
Didn't it run this way, or did it go side to side? Did it go left to right, or did it go like on an angle?
What do you mean?
Like the gameplay, the flow.
I don't know what you mean.
Like Madden, you go up and down. You're going north.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
You're kind of going this direction.
You're going up. If
You
you're on
play up?
offense, you go up. Right?
What if you're playing someone?
Then they're facing down.
You sure?
I thought so. At least the newer ones.
Maybe it was new. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe they rotated it. But back in the day, I swear, I could be wrong now. You're making me question myself. Almost like, what was the game? NBA Live?
Yep.
What kind of went on an angle?
Really?
FIFA, I thought started on an angle. I could be wrong. Up and down?
So I haven't played them in close to like 5 or 6 years now. But FIFA went side to side. I think Madden went up and down, and same with 2K, NBA 2K.
Went up and down.
And then once you lost possession, it would flip flop, and then the other person went from the bottom up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll get you dizzy though.
It does.
A couple turnovers in a row. I remember that actually. He was like, then.
Well, it has like a little pause.
Yeah, like
so it'll do a freeze frame, and then it'll rotate the screen, and then you'll have the ball after. Technology, man. These games are getting more sophisticated every single day.
My little nephew Nick, I played last Christmas. So you don't even have to buy the game anymore. You pay for it. They send it right to your box. I'm probably telling you something you know.
Wait, what do you mean they send it?
Like you just send it to your system.
Oh, you download the file.
Download it.
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah.
That's how out of the loop I am. Download the file. They send it to your box. You know what I'm talking about. But I used to have to wait in line at GameStop, pay in advance.
Oh, I still remember those days.
I used to go to Funko Land and put a $50 deposit down, wait in line to get the Madden, go home and play with my buddy BG. I mean, Madden there was a line, but now no line, no wait. You just, again, download it, my bad, send it to your box. And then, so I haven't played in a while. This is a Madden story. I don't know if you guys are going to be interested, and the first time I played was last Christmas. Nephew Nick, he would kick off, come down, pummel me. I would fumble. He'd get it. He'd laugh at me. He'd score. I'd throw an interception. He'd run it back. He'd run around. And, I was still trying to figure out the buttons. It's been a while. He beat me like 35-6. Then I was like, all right, let's keep playing. Got it down to like 28-14. Finally, I learned the buttons. And I got Derrick Henry, and I grinded out, pound and ground, like ran the ball, first down, waste some time, pound the ball, first down, wasted all the clock. I beat him. It was like 14-12, or 14-13 or something. Somehow, I kicked a field goal. I don't know what it was, but I beat him. And I kind of said, hey, I beat you or whatever. Maybe I teased him a little bit. He starts crying.
Oh, boy.
And then everyone's mad at me. I'm like, but he didn't tell you the first 5 times he's laughing at me, mocking me, beat me by 50 points. And then finally when I win and I say something, I'm the bad guy. But funny Nick story on Christmas, Madden. Nick's every year is going to be a guest. I'm like, come on, Nick. He likes fantasy sports. So I'm like, in August, we'll do a fantasy football preview. Like, hey, who we drafting? What are we going to draft? Nick, for 3 summers. Oh, Uncle E, I got sports. I got to go to school. We're going on vacation. So, Nick, here's your chance, buddy. Let's go. Should he do it? How's your fantasy game? Do you play fantasy football?
I don't. My dad actually, surprisingly enough, just entered in a fantasy soccer league, though. Which
for players?
Surprised me.
You get players? Or teams?
It's a weird, I think it's teams. I don't really know how it works. He sent me the file and says, hey, enter in this, but I think it's too late. But I think it's like you bet each week on a certain team to win, and then at the end of the season, you accumulate all the points.
Very cool.
So I don't know exactly how that works, but.
So what are the 2 license plates? Your dad has 2 football license plates. I think one is.
Oh, on the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One is Barcelona.
Yep. Do you know the other one?
Manchester United?
Nope.
Real Madrid?
No. It's another EPL team. Do you know your EPL teams?
No. So maybe you have to break that down.
It's Liverpool. Yeah.
So
that's his team. So he loves Barcelona, like the style that they play. And so he really enjoys watching Barcelona. He's a good fan, but he's really truly a Liverpool fan. So that's his ride or die team.
And Liverpool's major rival is
Everton.
Not Manchester?
Not Manchester. Oh, they're all
Are they in
rivals.
different leagues?
They're in the same league.
Same league.
So the way that European soccer is different than American sports in general is they have what's called a relegation zone. So if you're in the bottom 2 teams in the top league, then you move down, and the top 2 teams from the B league move up to the A league. So I don't know where I was going with this. But
I've heard that, and I looked into a little bit because that's Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Ted Lasso, season, like they win to go up. Or then Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, owns a team for real.
Yes.
And his team finally made it up.
Wrexham or
yes,
yeah,
they were allowed to like be regulated. Regulated is called.
Relegated is when you go down.
Oh,
I don't know. Promoted.
Okay.
Promoted, I think.
And that constantly happens every year.
Every single season.
So that's good because I think NFL should do that because you got teams like the Giants. I'm a Giants fan as of maybe 2 more days because I might be done with them. But they should get
Sound like every
relegated.
Cowboys fan.
They should get relegated to down to play with like lower level, and then it'll motivate the last place teams to get better.
Right.
Because it's not just hey, you made the playoffs, you're good. Well, the bad teams have some motivation to not be so bad.
Right.
That's
right.
And it works in the
sometimes
football.
NFL teams try to get last place so they get first pick, right?
Yes.
Isn't that a thing?
And how does that work for soccer? Do they get first picks or it's all paid, right?
It's all paid. So once you're eligible to play, you could be eligible at 14 years old if you want to. Although there's some legal issues with hiring kids. Like there's this one kid named Calvin Sullivan who's I think in Pennsylvania or something. I forget where exactly. He's American, but he was purchased by Manchester City, another EPL team, so that when he becomes of age at 18, he's going to transfer over to their academy program.
Yeah, Freddie Adu did that. David
Adu
Beckham
did that.
started a little younger, right?
There's Landon Donovan.
Oh, Landon, yep.
Yeah. Taylor Twellman, maybe one of them. There's a couple others. For sure.
Yeah, everyone's saying like soccer will never make it in America because of commercials. What's your take on that? True or false? Because we need
false on that point, but it eventually will.
For TV wise, I mean.
Yeah. That's a loaded question. I can go down a whole rabbit hole, but long story short, the reason why the argument could be going both ways. I think that it will, but there's an argument that's saying that it won't because it doesn't have that drive from a youth standpoint that other countries do. So if you look at any inner city basketball court, they're all filled with kids just shooting hoops all day. Right after school, they go from 2 to 8, 6 hours. They're just shooting hoops out over and over and over again. Yep. So the love for the game is there. For soccer, it's all fueled by money. So the more money you have, the better team that you can get on from an early stage. So there's a conflict of interest with money and your cultural upbringing, and there's a whole lot of different factors that go into it. Where you could create the argument that soccer won't be as big as it is in Europe or South America or whatever other country.
Yeah, because, my take was to play, I guess it's a bad argument, but to play basketball, you just need sneakers and a ball, and you go to the park. Because people will be gathering at this park. Like, say, Wolcott Park, every time I walk my dog, Sunday nights is jamming.
There's at least 40
When I
people.
moved in 16 years ago, I went to play there. I was like, they called me old man or the custodian because I cleaned up the glass. It was like maybe self-proclaimed nickname, but I was cleaning up, and no one wanted to pick me. And then at the end, I played a couple games, and I swear this is building my confidence. I was ready to leave, and some guy goes, "Hey, old man, you want to play?" And I was like, "Whoa!" He could have asked anyone.
Yeah.
He asked me.
Yeah.
I was honored.
You always need that experienced player on the court.
Park. He saw that I was grabbing rebounds, playing hard, but that playing on pavement hurts. I'm too old for that now. Yeah. It's bad on your back and your knees.
Yeah.
But again, back to soccer. If you were to bring a soccer ball to Wolcott Park per se, there's not other kids like maybe occasionally. Occasionally there's pickup. I played pickup actually soccer with your dad. I bought cleats.
Did you really?
Yeah. All his buddies, they're all Peruvian dudes, right?
Yeah, actually, I think I do remember that.
And then you had the goals
were
really close. They're really close goals.
Yep.
Like not wide goals, like
well,
regulation.
They're probably about this wide.
Yeah. I played with your dad.
Yeah.
No, he schooled me.
Did he?
We both kicked the ball at the same time, and I thought I broke my toe and my ankle, and he just powered through.
Oh boy.
Because he's used to kicking.
Yeah.
My kicking, it was almost like it wasn't really a kick. It was like a reach out. And it caught me in an awkward position where he was in a kicking position. He got a lot of force behind it, and I kind of just put my toe out there. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
And then I was a toe kicker, but it was a good exercise.
Yeah, for sure.
Wearing cleats for the first time hurt my feet, and it was just, it was great. I want to play again.
Let's do it.
Let's get some pickup run going.
Yeah, come springtime. springtime into summer, I'm sure it'll be.
I think he had family
out
members there, maybe cousins or uncles that lived in Newington.
Probably.
Is this sounding right?
Yep. Alex, Tony,
yeah,
Louis.
I don't
Christian,
know if you were there.
Polo.
Maybe you were there.
I might have been younger. I might have been in like middle school.
Yeah, this was a while ago. This is like my girls were young.
Yeah. I think I do remember that. It was over at Wolcott.
Yeah, and then who else? My buddy Rinku plays over there. Oh, you know Rinku?
That's what I was gonna say. Back to the pickup. There's a big Nepalese culture, community in West Hartford.
Yep.
Rinku's obviously one of them, but
he was playing. He plays there now. I waved and I go, "Hey, let me play." He's like, "Come on, anytime, Feeney." And I was like, "Ah." I had my dog with me.
Yep.
Was my excuse, but
so all of his nieces and nephews and friends, daughters and sons, they all go over there and they play. Like I think like weekly, if not a few days a week.
So there's the pickup. There's my argument defeated that pickup soccer doesn't exist, but it does. But that was more organized. Like, hey, I'm going to call my friends and get them to the park.
Right.
Where at Wolcott, you could show up solo, get on a team with random strangers.
Yeah.
From all different backgrounds, cultures, upbringings. I mean, it's a great sport to just, to play, and you're just trying to best the players. I mean, but no one passes at Wolcott. That was another thing. I was like, that's why I grabbed so many rebounds, because I'm like, these guys are not passing at all.
Yeah.
Let me just rebound. So I grabbed I just channeled my inner Dennis Rodman and grabbed a lot of boards.
There you go.
That's why they called me the custodian, because I was cleaning up the garbage.
Yep.
The custodian.
Like I said, you always need one of those in every sport.
Yeah.
Whether it's soccer.
Yeah, how do you do that in soccer?
Well,
who's the garbage cleanup Dennis Rodman type? Like a defender, like a tough defender, or what do we? Someone that hustles.
It could be anybody.
And does a lot of more slide tackles than usual.
Yeah, our equivalent of it would be the garbage goal getter. So any rebound that you could just tap a foot on, where you could just push the ball in the back of the net.
Gotcha.
So my coach growing up, he was an Englishman. His name is Steve, and he used to say all the time, "I love garbage goals. Those are the goals you have to fight for. So it's the point in your game where you can show the most passion."
Yeah, it's like knowing where to be in the right place.
Yep.
Putting some extra heart into it.
Yep.
Hustle. The want. The drive. Yeah, I like that.
I remember this one time. I was 12 maybe, so I was U13. I was around that age, but there was this kid that I played with who played at Central, actually. His name is Danny, and he missed a goal scoring opportunity at our opponent's end and then sprinted. As soon as the other guy got the ball, he kicked the ball from their box to our box, and this kid literally just chased the ball. As soon as they got a shot on goal, he did a bicycle kick off the line. And our coach pointed to that and was like, "That's who you need to be." It was like, crap. Now I got to do that.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
All hustle. All heart.
Yep.
Nice. Anything you want to add? I know we talked your job, universal connectivity, account executive. We talked neighborhood. We talked soccer. Anything that you want to bring? Any questions for me? Any things you want to bring up?
Well, I'd love to know what's next for Friends of Feeney.
Yeah.
What's next? You did the parade. You're doing the podcasts. You're doing all these other charitable events for...
Yeah, we just had a toy drive.
At Luna's Pizza, right?
Luna Pizza.
Yep.
1 to 4. It was pretty cold, but I think we got maybe 10 garbage bags.
Oh, wow.
Maybe more. At least 5 huge boxes, heavy boxes. And those are going to the Wolcott Caring Schools Committee or Welcoming Schools Committee. Coats, maybe even 10 coats. That's going to the Chrysalis Center.
And where do those toys and coats, where do they go to? Like where specifically? Like Hartford or?
The Hartford is called the Chrysalis Center, and they help people trying to get back into society based on either that experience homelessness or some sort of issues, with their life or employment. So they were going to have coats there, and then families at school, Wolcott School, that may or may not be able to afford some toys. So
nice.
It's really local, helping our community, but we have Pond House tomorrow. This is going to air next week, so this will already pass. But Let's Grab Lunch. I'd like to thank everybody from the Let's Grab Lunch group. They're doing their Christmas party, and they picked Friends of Feeney to be their beneficiary. Honored for that. So thank you so much for that. What else do we got? We're going to take the chamber party that we talked about at Avia. We'll also be collecting toys for Friends of Feeney, so please come. I think it's going to be next Thursday, the 19th. Again, we're going to miss this, but thank you for everyone at the chamber. Thank you, Chris and Katie. We have a Wolf Pack. You ever go to Hockey Wolf Pack?
Yeah.
February, this is good. More than enough time because this will air and have time to purchase. February 28th, huge group outing, Friends of Feeney night at the Wolf Pack. So please come if you can. We're trying to get Frank the Tank from Barstool Sports to join us.
Oh, really?
I just sent Jenks a text today. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but we'll see.
Who's Jinx?
Jenks.
Oh, Jenks.
Jenks is Matt Jenks is Frank the Tank's right-hand man. You know who Frank the Tank is?
Yeah.
We had him at Parkville Market.
Doing the hot dog eating.
Hot dog contest. It was the best. He was
he
striking
rated
them
them
out.
Yep.
They were hitting home runs or they were striking out. Then he signed autographs and took pictures. He's a wonderful person. Frank the Tank. We're huge friends of Frank. He's cares a lot about Friends of Feeney and is very helpful and thoughtful. We're trying to get him to come back again and set up inside of the Wolf Pack. It's not happening yet, but we'll see. To get a booth or maybe a little table. We got Friends of Frank T-shirts. We got these little things he could sign. So we'll see.
That's awesome.
So that's February 28th.
Not confirmed yet, though.
The Wolfpack's definitely happening.
Okay.
But Frank
the
Tank's
Tank.
appearance
Gotcha.
is not definitely happening. Not happening yet. Yet. Keyword, yet. Anything else? I got my man Matt, board of directors. You know Matt?
Of course I know Matt. Matt's a great guy. Nice to see you, Matt.
Matt. Did I miss any dates? Golf tournament. More than enough time. Oh,
that's September,
Universal
right?
Connectivity should be a sponsor.
Yeah.
September 13th, 2025.
I think this year I was a little late to the deadline.
Yeah.
I wanted to sign up. What was it? The day before? It was. I think
to
it was
golf.
The day, to golf. Yeah. I was ready because the chamber golf event at
it was right.
Wampanoag was the day or a week before. Yeah.
Did you play in that one?
I did.
Oh, nice.
That was a really good event too. So didn't win, but
Brooke Goff said she's going to be a big time sponsor. She told me this yesterday or Saturday. Brooke Goff is going to be a sponsor. Amazon will always be our technology sponsor. King of Dings will be our lunch sponsor, and T-Flag, Pin Flag sponsors. Maximum Beverage does a whiskey hole. So after you're golfing, you got to, get some liquid hole-in-one juice. So
yeah.
Whiskey.
Speaking of which, that's where we met. That's why I'm on this podcast, right?
Oh.
Did we tell the viewers how I got on?
Tell them. It's hilarious. The Whiskey Fest. Let's go.
The Whiskey Fest. I won the raffle. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Maximum Beverage. I think the 4th year now we've been the beneficiary of their whiskey event. 200 vendors. Some wonderful whiskeys. Litchfield whiskey, coffee whiskey, banana whiskey. You name it, it's there. It was at the where was that?
Farmington Gardens.
Farmington Gardens. It was at the Hartford Golf Club for years, but it's
really?
at Farmington Gardens. It was a great time, and we put out a raffle. We have a wonderful raffle. We raised close to $2,000 on our raffle, and the first time ever, we said, let's put Feeney Talks with Friends podcast guest to be you win this raffle, you get to be a guest. And guess who was our first winner ever?
There we go.
My guy, Stephen Espinal.
Well, there was only like a couple in there, so I was like,
couple hundred.
Well, at first, after I started giving it all attention, then everyone else started putting theirs in. So I was very fortunate to win, nonetheless.
Yes. I mean, you had good odds.
Yeah.
You had pretty good odds.
Yeah.
But you're here, you won. Your buddy, too. Who were you with that night?
Cheetah Bay. Actually, can I shout him out real quick?
Of course.
Cheetah Bay. Jumps by Chi. He has an Instagram page. He's a social media influencer. He does a lot of jumping. He ran track and field at Eastern Connecticut State University. Now does a lot of dunking competitions over with certain camps, or does a lot of other trade shows. Actually, he just came back from one where they were demoing a what is it, like a test your reach thing, where you can ring a bell at the top and set it at different heights, and it's a
how high can he jump? Does he do exercises? Can he teach me how to jump?
He can, absolutely.
I could barely touch the net.
He has a jump program that you can actually get, or I'm sure he'll just be willing to help you out. So
we got to get him on to be a guest. He put in for that.
He did.
At first, you were talking to come together, collab.
We could have.
No, we'll have him on.
Yeah.
What's his name? Cheetah
Bay.
Cheetah Bay.
So his nickname is Chi. I don't know if he can tell what his name means. He's Nigerian, so the name means something, So that'll be your first question to him.
Listen, be a good friend. Our motto is be a good friend, hold the door for someone, be charitable, give compliments. What makes Chi a good friend?
He's loyal, he's honest, and I don't know. He's just a good friend.
Loyal
I've been
and
friends
honest.
with him since kindergarten, so you can't get better than that.
Is he a Wolcott school guy?
He is.
No way.
Yeah.
All right. Great way to end on being a good friend. Good friends rule. Do you have this sticker? It's a new sticker.
I think I got that one last time. You had those at the Hot Ones Challenge, right?
Oh, yeah, Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Be a good friend. Again, this was the Feeney Talks with Friends podcast. Thank you, Direct Line Media. Thank you, Maximum Beverage. Thank you to my guy, Steve. Raffle winner. You heard it here first. We're raffling off guest spots on the Feeney Talks with Friends. Go ahead and like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other streaming platforms. Again, this is episode 122. I had a great time talking with you. Any closing remarks?
Be a good friend. I don't think it gets better than that. That's a great closer.
Beautiful. Well said.
Simple.
Well said. Well, on 3, we're going to say it again. So we'll say be a good friend on 3 because that's how we end. 1, 2, 3. Be a good friend.